Great points, Larissa. If I could add to what you discussed, when I think of leadership traits and skills, the most important or standout attribute that come to my mind include motivation, creating a sense of belonging to others, and creating opportunities for advancement. I've always felt that day-to-day operations within an organization can start to weigh heavy on an employee, and motivating your team or employees by understanding their wants and needs can make them feel appreciated when their needs are met. For example, at my current employer, we were wearing somewhat of a darker shade of clothing attire, and a lot of us felt like we were going to funerals instead of going to work. So we requested a little bit of a lighter shade to have more of a friendly approach or friendly appeal or friendly look. And our management took what we said into consideration, and they got us a little bit of a different shade of attire. We greatly appreciated what they're doing, and I think this flows into creating a sense of belonging. And when employees feel they're connected to their organization, not only are they motivated to maintain a sense of pride while they're working, but feel they're making considerable contributions to the success of the organization. My personal belief in leadership is to allow advancement opportunities. In an article that I read a couple weeks ago, it stated that management isn't looking for great leaders to come along. They actually are already within the organization, and they're looking to tailor-made their traits that they already possess, and they tailor-made it to the company, the organization, and their needs.
Oh, that's very interesting. You have a very good point of view on how you see leadership skills.
Thank
So,
you.
Eric, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the Gold Circle?
The gold circle. No, I haven't. Could you elaborate a little more?
Oh, yes. Okay, so I saw this very impressive speech by Mr. Simon Sinek, and he discussed how great leaders inspire action and presented the theory of the Gold Circle. Now, the Gold Circle was broken up into three sections: the outer layer, which is the what, the middle layer, which is the how, and the center layer, which is why. He explained that the Gold Circle is actually not a map of psychological, but of biology.
Okay.
So I thought that was very interesting to hear from him. And he said that the reason it's more of a biology is because the way the thought process works in the brain.
Mhm.
And the actual Gold Circle is actually formed very similar to how the brain is. So the what, which is the outside of the brain, and that's the neural cortex, and that actually constructs rational thoughts, which explains how the what idea comes about. And then
Right.
the how and the why is the inside of the brain, which is the lymphatic part of the brain, and that actually controls the decision making and the strong beliefs that a person has. Now, for the Gold Circle, any person will, as starting up as a leader, would think from the outside, which is the what, and then all the way to the inside for the why. And and for example, like Martin Luther King Jr., he's a great example of like a great leader that stood out to others.
Hmm.
And he actually did it the opposite. He, went from why, then to how, and then to what. And
Okay.
like as Scenic had said, stated, and he also said, Martin Luther King, he was about the meaning, the purpose, what he believed in. He also made everyone believed that what he believed in. So as and one of the things that Scenic had said in his speech was the people showed up on the day of Martin Luther King's speech because they were not there for him but for themselves because they believed in what he was stating. So I
Sure.
thought that was very interesting, and it's nice to know like things like that, as being a leader, and to bring out the why, the purpose, because that's very special.
Absolutely. So, if I could just kind of review what you had mentioned, Mr. Scenic's golden circle aspect is basically saying to start with the why aspect, why
Mm-hmm.
you're doing something versus
Yes.
what you're doing. And that kind of promotes, I guess, more successful style of leadership.
Yes.
That's very true. And thanks for including that section of Martin Luther King. That was very interesting. And I think that ties together well. And that was a great example of and tying into what you had mentioned for what Mr. Scenic was saying.
Yes.
Was there anything else maybe that you'd like to discuss for today?
No, Eric.